Oh, we are live.
Mm.
I've been, I've been singing this song in my head all morning long since 3 this morning. The Lord's song, the Lord's song.
Yes.
But it doesn't belong to us, but it's a song that pertains to all of us. I don't even know how somebody can claim the song. It's in the Bible. Where is David? So
David is not here to claim it. Good,
David
good
is
morning,
not here
our
to
people.
claim it. Somebody else is claiming it. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's okay. They put it together. It's in the Bible, but someone went there, brought the music, brought the instrument, put it together, so it belongs to them now.
Okay. It belongs to them now. Okay
Mhm.
then. All
Thank
right.
you. Greetings, our people. Good morning. Please help us to share, like, and subscribe. We're here once again. We appreciate the work you're doing, by the way, because this is a teamwork. When we see people saying, because we're building consensus. So when we see this happening, we know that our people are talking to them, are sharing. So we appreciate your work. For those that are joining us for the first time, this is is a video for education, like enlightenment campaign, to teach our people what they didn't know about their freedom, about their self-determination, about their sovereignty, about the bondage they've been in for years. So my name is AP. I live in Lexington, and my sister will take over from me. Please go ahead, sister.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to play the video of the day while we're sharing as usual. We want to share and like and subscribe and keep clicking the like button. We heard that it helps with the algorithm. So you keep clicking the like button as we share the show amongst our friends. Um, Give me a moment.
Please continue to those on YouTube, hit the notification button so that it will alert you anytime the bell, alert you anytime we are live. This
Your own
information.
just alerted you. Did you hear that chang? Did that
Yes,
come from
I, I did. You're right.
a chang? They are on.
Yep, yep. Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Catholic Church, the Roman, so that when you look at Africa, you see the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church to be specific, is one of the largest landowners across the continent of Africa. In every African country, the Roman Catholic Church has large tracts of land. Their sphere of influence, whether you are talking about their presence in Uganda or in Kenya or in Angola or in all those other countries. Remember, the Roman Pope was a politician. And in the 15th and 16th century, when the oceans were being subdivided for exploration, it is the Roman Catholic Pope who divided the oceans between Spain and Portugal at that time. That is the Roman Catholic Church. The Anglican Church, whenever you saw the British, they also came with the Anglican Church. And remember, I keep on reminding those who are in the Anglican tradition that the Anglican Church was created through a rebellion in 1534 when King Henry VIII was denied the right to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon so that he could marry Anne Boleyn. And he became the head of the Roman Catholic Church. The British monarch is the head of the Roman Catholic Church. So this is an established church. Wherever they went, you see the governor's house, and next to the governor's house is the archbishop's house. Either it's in Kenya or in Uganda or in Tanzania or in Ghana or in Nigeria or in Zimbabwe, spheres of influence. And where the Germans were dominant, you see the Lutheran Church. And where the Scots had a presence, you see the Presbyterian Church. So it is true that religion was used. And the Bible has been used in very negative ways. The Dutch Reformed Church, which gave the religious legitimacy to the apartheid regime in South Africa, proceeded on the premise that the races were unequal. So religion was used to dehumanize the Black South Africans by the Dutch Reformed Church, which founded and formed the so-called spiritual basis for the apartheid regime. The churches were there when people were being colonized. They were there when people were being discriminated against, while the same Bible that they read said that there is no Jew, no Gentile, no man, no woman. Yet they allowed it to happen. Religion was used to pacify, and the culture and the whole idea of turn the other cheek. Religion did not preach being a keeper of one's brother or sister. Religion did not assert that we should be good Samaritans. The people in religion became bad Samaritans. And it is instructive that in the recent past, the Roman Catholic Church has apologized. The Anglican Church has apologized because they know that they were complicit both in slavery and in colonization, and that they continue to do harm in the name of religion. Islam is not innocent. Islam, which is articulated in the Quran, is quite clear about the things and how you should deal with people. But Islam also became an instrument of Arabization, which was not what the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, prescribed. But those who are bringing Islam to the coastal part of Africa also used it to Arabize the population. The net effect, therefore, when you talk about the impact and the influence of religion in the continent of Africa, is that it's part of the problem rather than part of the solution. That does not take away the fact that there are certain good things that these religious organizations also did. We must not be all negative. It's true that in a number of areas they improved education, therefore eliminated illiteracy. It is true that they built hospitals and therefore helped in the reduction and elimination of diseases. But when you put it on the weighing scale, the negative impact of religion, psychologically and otherwise, continues to be an albatross that hangs on the neck of the people of color in Africa. And something must be done to decolonize religion in order that we may indeed enjoy the dividends of a relationship with God. And if you look at the history of Africa, there have been attempts at fighting that. In the 16th century, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, what we call it now, in the Congo Kingdom, there was a lady called Kimpavita or Donna Beatrice, who told his people that indeed, of course, debatable, Jesus was black and was a Congolese. But I can understand where Kimpavita or Donna Beatrice was coming from. She was trying to tell the people that we should not simply accept the version of Jesus that has been brought to us from Europe and America. And when Donna Beatrice left, in the same Congo, there was Simon Kimbangu, who also came and made certain contribution. In fact, when Kimbangu died in 1951, he had already predicted that Congo would be free. He had already predicted that there would be economic recovery. So there have always been Africans who have tried to appropriate the good aspects of religion, whether it is Islam or it is Christianity. In the Islamic tradition, we remember the activities of Uthman Dan Fodio or Uthman Dan Fodio in the northern part of what is now Nigeria, and his version of Islam, trying to give it an African flavor so that it's something that is positive to the people. So whenever we talk about religion, we must understand that it had and continues to have a very negative impact on African peoples, preaching a gospel where we think that prayer without work will be the mother of all the things we have ever wished for. Yet we know that the divine instruction was that you shall eat by the sweat of thy brow. You know, religion is man-made. And anything that is touched by man and made by man, particularly many of these organizations, including religion, they have an agenda, hidden or otherwise. So the more religious you are, sometimes the less spiritual you are. Because religion creates hierarchy. You have the archbishop, you have the Pope in the Roman Catholic, you have the cardinals, you have the archbishops, you have the bishops, you have the priests, and all of them enjoy Pharisaic life. They love life. And we have history of popes who engaged in all manner of criminal activities. And they wanted to be worshipped. In fact, when I look at the history of the Roman Catholic Church, and I look at how Martin Luther came out with his 95 Theses at the church in Wittenberg, when he's saying that the popes must stop using the church for evil purposes. It was a rebellion against religion. When you look at the Anglican Church, you can see how religion was used to deify man. When you look at Islam, we have had versions of Islam where people preach everything that is contrary to the instructions of Allah and the Prophet of God, Muhammad, peace be upon him. And all these tell you that we lost our spirituality. And one of the things that Western religion did was to attack African spirituality, so that you lost your connection to God. Because in many African communities, the connection between man and God was a direct thing. And you had your ancestors interceding for you, which they said was unchristian. But yet, when you are Christian, you pray to the God of Abraham, Moses, and Joseph, who are their ancestors. And they tell us we must not mention our ancestors when we are praying. So it is true that one of the things that attacks spirituality and creates a distance between us and God is organized religion, which we now know by dint of history, and even as we observe today, has some of the most corrupt practices, some of the most pernicious practices against man. We have seen cultic religions which have come where individuals become rich at the expense of their congregants. Religion is the thief of spirituality. You know, when
we end it there. Religion is the thief of spirituality. Amazing. Religion is the thief of spirituality. So if not for anything, we should let that resound in our ears and our head all day long, because this is what we are trying to liberate our people. We are not saying there is no God. God forbid. God is ever present in our life every day. He shows up in so many fashions and ways that we cannot even count. What we are saying that the instrument of religion has been used to destroy our people. Instead of doing things for themselves, they are waiting for the Lord to do it. They are believing for the Lord to do it. They are fasting and praying for the Lord to do it. When we are saying, no, 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 that's not how it works. You need to do what you can do on your own. And God, the higher power, will do the rest. We don't want you going to church and praying from morning till night, thinking that's going to solve your problem. If you don't work, you won't be able to eat. Even Bible recognizes that we need to use the work of our hands to take care of ourselves. So we don't want these religious activities that is going on where people think, oh, pray and go to prayer meetings and all this stuff. I know so many years ago when my father was complaining that the women in the villages that used to make little things that when they come to the village, they will buy it from them and go back to the town. My father said people were no longer selling it because the women were going to church and they were called the Praise the Lord. That's when this thing was around 2007, 6. My father said they are called the Praise the Lord group. They don't do anything anymore. In the morning, instead of them to go and get their onubo and wash it for selling, they say they are going to the mission. Everybody's going to the mission. And we're not saying you cannot pray. And our thing is that we submit to you that if you are good from Sunday to Sunday, if you're kind to somebody else, don't do to others what you don't want to be done to you. Love one another like you love yourself. Take care of others. Take care of your communities. Don't leave your community and go and give money to some pastor somewhere when the widow next to you cannot feed. Start from your neck of the wood so that you understand the spirit of the Lord, and not how much you go to the Lord and sit in the front chair and scream and shout and go to all the church services. Start by being good to yourself. Start by being good to your neighbors and then spread the joy all along. If you can do that Sunday through Sunday, I don't know any other needle head that you cannot pass if you can do that much. So it's not about how much you go to church. It's not about how many times you go to mission. It's not about how many times you give all that you have, believing God, right? If you give God 10%, then He will give you 1,000,000%. That's not how it works, my people. So we have our brother here today who is into all of these spirituality things that we are talking about, and he will give us further insight. So without much ado, I would definitely yield the mic and let him, Sitepi will go ahead and introduce him. Unfortunately, he's having connectivity issue. You know how the other side is, like Joe Biden said. I believe it's the other side that I threw the bomb on the hospital. So you know how the other side is. Their connectivity is not that great. So we'll have him on a speaker because that's the only way we could connect so that he can be able to address the questions that we have for him. So thank you. So simply, please go ahead.
Yes, he's still trying to log in and blocking this. Of course, they keep using the algorithm to block what we're doing. So that's why we're saying, please continue to help us to share, like, and subscribe because it is what it is, and they don't want us to go because they know what they're getting from us. That's why we have to do this job ourselves. It's not anybody that will do it for us who will do it. So our guest, his name is Reverend Father Abu Benedict Nwabu. Um, he's a Catholic priest and he's a senior lecturer at the University of Nsukka, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. So we're going to ask him questions. He's trying to log in. I don't know if he's in the background. Is he in background yet?
He's not able to log in. I
Oh,
can't see him.
okay, he's still trying to use Facebook to log in. We'll just give him a few minutes while we introduce pull up our PowerPoint, just to give him a few minutes and see if he will be here. This is his picture. To go audio if we are not able to get, if he's is not able to get in, we go audio. Please continue to help us to share because they keep blocking this work, and we use the algorithm. It's like that for anything that using
It's meaningful. Anything that is meaningful for us.
anything that is meaningful, anything that will make Africans to know who they are, understand their identity, be able to say, because you have to understand your identity before you say self-determination, before you say, oh, I want to determine how I want to be led or how things need to happen to me. If you don't know your identity, if you have lost who you are, you won't be able to know what is your inheritance, how to get your heritage back. You won't know because you don't know who you are. That's why when they stole our people and brought them to the US, I said as slaves, the first thing they did was to change their names. They will give them their name, give them different things so that they will not know who they were. And they will and they will not allow them to come to Africa, visit Africa. They'll tell them that Africa is full of diseases. If they want to come, they'll say, before you can come, you have to go and do this vaccine.
You have to get a vaccination, 15 of them or 20 of them.
Exactly. These are people that came from Africa. They will not need vaccination. Meanwhile, you, the white man, that's told them you don't need all the vaccination. You will keep coming to steal resources. So the game is over. Whatever way they're doing it, we are going to get this job done. It's over. We know their plan and the tricks that they played, and it's not going to happen anymore. We are moving forward. So we'll try to call. Okay. Is that the let me see if I can get him. If he's still struggling to get.
Please continue to help us to share and like. Keep hitting that like button over and over again every chance you get, and continue to share amongst your friends. Send them the link because we want our people. Most of our people are trapped in some type of religious organization. So we want our people to hear from the priests and not just us. Christ said that he came to give us freedom abundantly, not a little bit of freedom, freedom that we will worship him in truth. So that we are not worshiping him because we are hungry and we're waiting for him to give us food. We are not worshiping him because we're believing him to give us job. We're worshiping him because he's our true God. And that's what we want our people to get. We don't want all these fakeness that have been preached to us. So our brother will definitely help us to do justice to it. So please continue to help us to share. They are seriously blocking this today because I know they are not allowing people that are watching to reflect, which is fine. Which is fine. We want our people to get the information.
Okay.
We get credit or not, it's okay.
He's here, Sister Mona. Yeah, he's here, and we'll go through audio. This is his picture for those that don't know him as him. So, and we'll move from here. And Sister Mona, are you ready to move on?
Yeah, let's have him talk, about himself a little bit. So I'll be pulling up the PowerPoint while he speaks.
Okay. Please go ahead, brother, uh, Reverend. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Father Ben Abu, Benedict Abu, if you like. My Igbo name is Wabu. I hail from OP in Nsukka Diocese. I was ordained a priest in the year 2006. I have a PhD in music. I'm also a senior lecturer in the Department of Music, UNN, and also a parish priest in a parish nearby to UNN. So I am here to address the audience that wants me to speak. I think that's all I can say for now.
Thank you very much. You have said it all. Okay. Please, Sister Mona, go ahead.
All right, I'm trying to pull up the PowerPoint. Give me 1 minute here.
Okay, I'll continue. So, Father Ben, so what is the role and responsibility of priesthood in Christendom?
A priest is a leader of the people of God. And from the Vatican II, we have what we call the triple munera, the three jobs of a priest. The first one is called munus docendi. As a prophet, he speaks and teaches the people. The second one is called the munus sanctificendi. As a priest, he does offer sacrifices according to Hebrews 5, verse 3. The priest is taken from among men, is ordained to offer sacrifices for himself and for the people of God. The third one is munus regendi, and this is where I'm interested in. The priest is a leader. The priest is the leader of revolution. The priest helps the people at critical moments, like in 2 Kings 9, when we had what we call Operation Jehu in the scripture. You will see that God used Elijah to fight the prophets of Baal at a given point in the history of Israel. He had to anoint Elisha, who anointed Jehu. The rest of the story can be found in 2 Kings 9. So a priest is the conscience of the society. A priest is ordained to speak boldly and courageously. And when the priest fails to speak, like in the case of Eli, he can also be rebuked. So when Jesus said that we are the light of the world, a city set upon the hill that cannot be hidden, or that we are the salt of the earth, in Matthew 5, 13 and following. I think that statement is epitomized in the priest, because the priest has a big responsibility as a leader in Christendom. Let me drop it here for now.
Thank you very much, Reverend. Samuel, are you ready to go on, please?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So thank you so much, because it's good that you broke down everything, because some people think that, oh, all the priest does is just go to church, talk about Bible, and they don't care whether the people that are preaching the Bible to are alive or dead. They don't care about what is going on, the political life or economic life, everything that is happening in the society. They just go to church, pray, and in Nigeria, it's like people don't even know these rules that you're saying, because all we have seen is, oh, night vigil, let's come and pray. Nigeria is burning. Let's pray. Let's do fasting. We have not really seen these things you're breaking down. So it's like people did not even know the role that they have been called into. And all this while, all they do is play odd games. So we are really happy that you're here to break down these things, so that please help us to share and like, subscribe. This show is so important. It's so important. Share it, subscribe, so that people will get this information. Because when the people get information, they will even ask more questions from their priest. Like, this is what we heard. Please come and break this thing down for us. So we'll go to the next question. So what does freedom of the people mean to you?
Thank you. What freedom means to me is what it means to Jesus Christ. As his priest, I have to, of course, we're talking about the ministerial priesthood. Everybody shares in the priesthood, what we call the common or the universal priesthood of the people of the people of God. That's not what I'm talking about today. I'm in 1 Peter 2:9. Okay. But as a priest, as a ministerial priest, freedom means to me what it means to Jesus Christ, my God. And freedom is one of the 7 spiritual blessings that we find in Christ. Ephesians chapter 1, from verse 3 to 7. There are 7 blessings mentioned: holiness, adoption, the blood that Jesus shed, then freedom, then forgiveness of sin, then wisdom and insight. So you can see that the Bible made it clear that in Jesus Christ we have freedom and forgiveness of sins. So Jesus' mission statement carries the emblem of freedom. In Luke chapter 4, verse 18, he said, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has anointed me to bring good news to the afflicted." I call it psychological freedom. To bring liberty to captives. I call it spiritual freedom. To give sight to the blind. I call it educational freedom. To let the oppressed go free. I call it political freedom. To proclaim a year of favor. I call that one economic freedom. So in philosophy, my first degree is in philosophy, we talk of freedom from and freedom to. Freedom from colonial bondage. Like in Nigeria, we are under the Fulani Caliphate. We know what Osman Dan Fodio said. It's all over the history books. And we know what Nasir El-Rufai has said openly. It's not hidden about the Islamization agenda, or what some people call Fulanization agenda. These things are open for everybody to see. So who is talking about freedom in Nigeria? We must talk about freedom to self-determination, freedom to write our own constitution, not being run by Decree 24 of 1999, done by a military junta. Freedom to move about in a country we call our own without feeling insecure. Freedom to practice one's religion without suffering persecution. We all saw the case of Deborah in the 4 walls of a university. I hope we will have time here to discuss the implications of enthroning Sharia in the 12 states of the Common.
Please.
As we discuss further here.
Well, we'll have time to discuss. Be telling us.
I want to use the mic for now.
I hope we are not in trouble today, because we have invited a lecturer. And people will be shaking. Thank you very much, Father. Well, thank you for breaking it down. So you can see we are displaying what Reverend Father mentioned about the statement of Usman Dan Fodio. He said, the new nation called Nigeria should be an estate of our great-grandfather, Usman Dan Fodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We use the minorities of the North as willing tools and the South as a conquered territory, and never allow them to rule over us, and never allow them to have control over their future. This was published. It was not said under the table. They said it, published it, and had been executing it day after day, year after year. Thank you very much, Father Abu. So let's go to the next question. Why is it critical at this time to lead our people to the right blueprint for self-determination?
Yeah, thank you. We're coming. Hosea 4:6 says, my people perish for lack of knowledge, and I'm going to hold my priests responsible. You see, most Nigerians are blinded to the dangers ahead. They cannot see where the country is headed. They are blinded by religion, and the politicians are exacerbating this whole religious ethnicity divides, political party affiliations. Confusing the people. To say the least, we are under a state capture right now. It has never been this bad. We are under a media capture. We are under a security capture. We are under a capture of the executive of the highest order. We have seen INEC capture. We have seen legislative capture. We've never had it this bad. And right now we are witnessing judiciary capture. Our economy is nosediving, to say the least. Laden under the trunks of what I call consumerism, an ideology that Nigerian leaders are practicing today. So it's a terrible situation, and I think that if there is a time that we need to speak about self-determination and the role of priests to free people from this state capture, it is now. I use the mic for now.
Wow. It's so critical to point our people to the right blueprint, because self-determination, according to the 2007 Declaration for Indigenous Peoples' Rights, it's not just people shouting on the main road, self-determination, self-determination. Identity is very important, because when you know your identity, you will know the map. Which land are we talking about? You have to be specific on it. So knowing the blueprint for self-determination, the process, the right one. Is it just okay, just jump up and down, jump up and down? No. The right one is like somebody cooking egusi soup. You go and buy a bono. You say you want to cook egusi soup. You are not on the right platform. So there is a right blueprint for self-determination. And it's very critical at this point for our people to get to that place. Thank you very much, Reverend. Okay, WhatsApp is making their connection. It's now going reconnecting. Okay, he's back. Thank you very much, Father Abu. So the 1999 Constitution is a forgery that hijacks the sovereignty and self-determination of indigenous ethnic nations. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thereby rendering Nigerians unable to have a say in what happens to them. Father Abu, how did you learn that this 1999 Constitution is a forgery?
Thank you. Everybody knows I was an ardent part of the obedient movement. And I know that P2B won the election. But I've realized that under the present configuration of the country, it cannot be allowed to fix the country or even be announced a winner of the election because of the INEC capture that I've spoken about. So I began listening to Nina after the tragedy of Yakubu Mahmoud happened to Nigeria. I witnessed the fraud and began to look for other more fundamental frauds, especially the fraudulent 1999 Constitution with the 68 exclusive lists. So I remembered P2B's own analogy of a car without engine when he spoke to us in the University of Nigeria and Nsukka, where I lecture. I remembered when he was speaking about that. That time he had not begun to run. Nigeria is like a car, whose engine has not. And we have to fix the engine first. I've been listening to a lot of Nina's priests in our different platforms, but we're all carried away by this whole desire for not just Igbo presidency, but we felt we had a good leader in P2B. So when it became clear to me that this thing these people are saying is true, we can't have this man. We can't have this man under this kind of situation. So I began studying the Nina's messages. I studied the 7-point outline invitation. I summarized it. I studied the constitutional force majeure. I summarized it. The Aladima epistle. There's a lot of epistles, over 7 of them, initially. I told this to one of my friends in Nina's that I'm going with you people. And she was excited. Like St. Paul. I had to throw in my trowel.
Yeah.
I got convinced that the best thing that can happen to Nigeria now is to transition towards constitutional renegotiation to what we call multi-regional referendum. People have been speaking about referendum. In fact, it was Nnamdi Kanu that so many people had it from. But if you study history, you know that Nnamdi Kanu really tapped it from Nina.
Yes, he plagiarized it.
So referendum doesn't just mean breaking off from Nigeria. No. It means agreeing to stay together and defining the terms of union. So it could end in federation. It could end in confederation or separation. So why would somebody just pick the last one and go to market with it? So Nina has been speaking about referendum before Nnamdi Kanu went to market with just one aspect of it and made it an Igbo affair when it is not supposed to be. So it is time to tell our people the truth.
Yes.
And I am in on this truth mandate. Let me use the mic for now.
Thank you so much. I like that you mentioned somebody that plagiarized Nina's work, because we have even up to 42 of them. The one you mentioned is just one of them. You just plagiarize the entire work somebody did. You go and take a section of it, put microphone on it, and start blowing it. You can't execute it. And people have ignorantly following you and not knowing that they are being duped. It is amazing. And indeed, like you said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And I like that you said that when you looked at it, you went to study. You studied the Constitutional Force Majeure. You studied the Aladima epistle. You studied all the things that Ninas have been putting in play on the table for over 24 years now. You say, okay, this makes sense. Because you know what? Idea rules the world. This is not the time that people will be running after one man or one woman and say, please come and deliver us. No. Get informed so that you too will be part of the process and you will be part of delivering yourself. Thank you so much, Father Abu. So,
thank you. Before we get started, please continue to help us to hit the like button. You know how what they do here, that when they have information that will liberate our people, they go on a serious blockage to make sure that nobody gets this information. They got this on our side because we are on this part of the truth, right? We are part of on the path of righteousness, and
yes.
no algorithm will stop this freedom of our people. No social media will stop the freedom of our people. We're here, we are standing on the truth, and nothing will change our tenacity to liberate our people from this mess that somebody created in order for them to make financial gains while my people suffer. So please continue to help us to share, continue to help us to like, call your friends, pause the show, call your friends and tell them to come and listen to Father Ben, how he's breaking these things down, because a lot of people leave the show and say, oh, we are against religion. No, we are against fraudulent religion. Here is my brother breaking it down to you guys that if you are really a religious man or woman, that you should be seeking for freedom of your people.
Exactly.
And anything else is fraudulent in its manner. So please help us to get our people to come on. I know everybody is on air, on online, trying to make money from YouTube and Facebook. This is not about money. This is not about money anymore. We need our people to come on board and follow someone who knows the road. We've been going into the forest. We've been going to, in Igbo, they will so call here, and then one on there. We've been misled by so many people. Some of them even just recently had a conference, stealing Nina's work, confusing people everywhere. But we want you to know that we are for the Lord. And we know that the Lord that we serve, especially the Lord of my ancestors, I know they don't like our situation and they want more for us. And that we shall get. So please continue to help us to share where we bring our brother back on to continue this. Father, Ben, I'm trying to control myself here. So let me shut up. Okay, go ahead. Continue to help us.
It's so revealing, and to imagine that our priests and our reverends are not ignorant of what is going on. It's amazing, it's really relieving, because okay, we are not in this battle alone, because for some time it was as if you're for us on your own. You're on your own. So our priests are not ignorant at all, and we are really happy to see that. So please, like my sister has said, continue to help us to share so that they will come and hear. That's your pastor, TK. Bring it so that he will hear. That's your bishop, your archbishop, all the other names that are calling themselves. Ndi Pentecostal, Pentecostal. Come and hear with your ear what is being said, so you can't pretend anymore. So thank you so much, Father Agbo. So the next question, you mentioned that you have been a supporter of Peter Obi being president, not just because he's Igbo man, just because that you felt that people needed something better, change and all that. Now that the presidential election has been messed up, Obagonime, he has entered the evil forest with 10-headed demons. What should obedience and Nigerians do to stop complete state capture? Please go ahead, Father Abu.
Anyway, let me begin with what we call in academics a conceptual analysis or clarification of terms.
Okay.
What we really call obedient movement. These are people who believe in the mandate of Peter Obi, the candidature of Peter Obi as a president, as a leader of Nigeria. And personally, I call the obedient movement the non-partisan members of the Labour Party. As priests, our discipline, just like journalists, our discipline is not to go into partisan politics, because we are supposed to be the father of the entire congregation. So our discipline, according to Canon 368, is always, in fact, from 365, you see, we're not supposed to really go and become governor.
Mm-hmm.
Any priest that becomes governor or begins to take up administrative position, we have to resign the priesthood for some time because you now belong to a particular political party. In 368, he now says it clearly, that you are not expected to run full partisanship. So I call Obedient Movement a non-partisan non-partisan members of the Labour Party because the interest we have is for good governance in the country, taking back the country or taking back Nigeria from these political gladiators. So from that point of view, it's a movement. And the characteristic of movement is that it's not hemmed in one position. So we have witnessed a lot of media allegations of a superlative arm twisting of the judiciary. It's no secret today. People have gone on air to say even foremost members of the Obedient Movement, like Haruna Guru, has gone on air to reveal the arm twisting of the judiciary as I'm speaking to you right now. People like Professor Patu Tomi, many people have spoken out. And even from within the House, ex-secretary to the government of the Federation, Babashir Lawal, has made it clear that Obi, not Tinubu, won the 2023 presidential election. So the Obedient Movement are hot. The Obedient Movement, members of the Obedient Movement are hot. And my message to them is, if we can't get our plan A, let's go for plan B. And that's why I say constitutional renegotiation is a more legal struggle now. It's not when the Supreme Court has passed a judgment that it's a lie. Then you go to the street and say, we don't agree. They will shoot you. That is why it is important for people to be reasonable at this point in time and go to that one that is legal. That one that is legal is to renegotiate the Constitution. After all, many parties have even used it as their campaign mantra, even though they may use the word restructuring. It's only Minas that has the plan, a clear, academic, thought-out plan about constitutional renegotiation by way of transitioning and the implications. It is something that the people do. It's something that lies in the hand of the people. And that is why we can't have real constitutional renegotiation without transitioning. You have to tell a particular government way to, your business now is to set up a transitioning government, that a constitutional drafting committee that we have to get plebiscite so that people can vote for this referendum and have a union, a new constitution. So it is the best time is now. That is why I feel that Obedient Movement, with all the hurt and with all the anxiety, what do we do? I wrote 10 reasons why protesting for constitutional renegotiation is safer and more reasonable than protesting for a mandate recovery at this point. It's all over the internet now. So let me stop here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, the 10 points that Father Abo mentioned, yes, it's all over. Look for it, especially our people are demanding change, the Obedient Movement. Change, whether you're demanding change, resource control, referendum, there has to be a process. And that process has to be outside the corrupt system. It can't be inside. You can't use the corrupt system to fix the corrupt system. It has to be outside. That's why we keep saying that the Nina's proposition will give power back to the people. When we say the people, we are talking about the original owners of the land, the indigenous people. Somebody described it as the micronations that were captured and subdued. Our ancestors killed. There's a story we told you here about Isochi, when they were preparing for war and they were doing their hands and getting ready. Hey, yeah, we are going to deal with these people. They thought it was what you use Egben to take down. By the time the colonial monsters declared, release one bomb, everybody, even the trees, came down. So there is a process that will be the right process that will be strong enough to destroy the system, the evil system we are trying to pull down. It's not just anything that you bring. Thank you very much. So in one of our conversations with Father Bo, he said, freedom is a gift from God to his children. Earlier this month, a Catholic priest, Father Oloma, said, if you haven't heard of Ninas, this is the time to take a look. They are at the forefront of constitutional renegotiation. Nigeria needs a new and better constitution. This was from Father Oloma, another Catholic priest, because we will commend those that are doing the right thing. Those that are not doing the right thing, we will come here, we will call you out. We know the fear, because we are talking about our land. We are the owners of the land. We know they beg. We are not looking face. We shake table, break table. That is what we do. That's why we are daughters of truth. So it was encouraging to hear this from Father Oloma, because right now Nigeria is under a faulty constitutional arrangement that is worse than the apartheid constitution of South Africa. You see, the church under South African Anglican bishop and theologian, Bishop Desmond Tutu, rose to her responsibility of setting the captives and the oppressed free. Now, Father Bo, what role can the church play in mobilizing the Nigerian people towards a mass action for self-determination and freedom? Please go on. Thank you.
Yeah, this is what we call the crux of the matter, the acme. We've come to the high point, the way out. And when we're talking about freedom, people have to rise up to take up their freedom. It's actually not given, it is taken. So, and that is why it needs a lot of courage. It needs a lot of courage, and it requires a lot of leadership. So Nina's plan has come to the stage where the mass action is necessary. They've done a lot of legal fireworks, culminating in the constitutional force majeure. Ninas have done the right logistics, the categorizations. Already have the Sharia knot already cut out by their own self-determination through the Sharia. So the Middle Belt nationalities need to organize themselves, the Igbo nationality, the Niger Delta nationality, the Oduduwa nationality. So through concerted mass action, people are supposed to say, no, let's renegotiate. And those people need to be led. So I think that our bishops, our Nigerian bishops, our priests have to take the bull by the horn. I was glad to hear the Methodist, the Anglican prelates say, as part of the resolutions from their recent synod, that they have realized that constitution is a problem. I know that sooner or later, the Catholic bishops will look at it. We have a lot of priests like Bishop Kuka, my own Bishop Ona, who know a lot about politics, who can look at the way forward for Nigeria. They should not wait for the worst to happen before the church reacts. We are not saying that this is a church affair, no. Even Muslim leaders should also know the meaning of self-determination. So it's not just a Christian thing, but we're talking about leadership here. Because what is happening in Nigeria, the state capture we are witnessing, is creating insecurity for everybody. It's creating terrible economic mess. I said we have stepped in the quagmire of consumerism. You can see 150 billion equivalent for car allowance in a country that is borrowing, to stupor. So it's a terrible situation. Very soon we will not have even anywhere to consume from. Are people crazy? Are people not seeing what is happening? We've never had this kind of insecurity. A Chief Justice of Federation, Justice Wednesday, was buried in my diocese yesterday, and you see people, you see these politicians entering even the venue with their bulletproof vehicles. You see, they are so insecure. They are so insecure because they know that the crowd, they know that the masses do not like them. They know what they are doing. So I think it has come to a point when the masses, led by the religious leaders, I'm not interested in just Christian leaders, no. I'm speaking to every religious leader, anybody that knows the truth, what freedom means. This is not democracy. What we are practicing today is not even faith. We should stop using the word Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's a lie. It's something like Federal Republic of Nigeria. What we have is a unitary, how would you call it, republic? A unitary of Nigeria. So we are lying to ourselves. The masses have to say, no, we need a constitution that we represent our own interests. So I'm calling on my fellow religious leaders. My people perish for lack of knowledge, and please must be held responsible. It's not matter of saying prayer for Nigeria in this way, prayer for Nigeria in this way every day. There's time for everything. There's time for prayer. There's time for action. Our God is not a God that will do for you what you should do for yourself. If you fail to do for what you should do, that's what you have an exam and you're supposed to read and you are there praying. You are just a hypocrite. God will not hear your prayers. So it is time in this country that religious leaders begin to talk sense, they begin to lead people aright. So I think that there is no better issue than to talk about our constitution. Constitution is the engine. Constitution is the engine of government. When the engine is bad and you've loaded a vehicle, you are moving. No, you're mad. You're mad. The vehicle cannot move. The vehicle cannot move. So we must have to fix the engine. And this is the best time. We have a criminal as our president. I'm not hiding it. I say it at the pain of being shot tomorrow. We have a criminal as a president. And the whole world is laughing at us. So there's no better time for constitutional negotiation than now. Because the government is not legitimate. It's not legitimate. And we don't have to wait for the kangaroo Supreme Court to legitimize that government. This is the time. The time is now or never. Let me stop here.
Please continue to help us to share. Continue to help us to share. They are really blocking it. Once again, continue to help us to share. Click that like button. We go nowhere. If our priests rise up, it's over. The game is over.
Please, his picture once more. His picture once more, so that people as are joining, we know who is speaking.
Absolutely. If our priest joins us, it's over. So it's not even a social media thing anymore, because somebody will say it's offline. It's offline. So let them block it all they want. If our priest rise up, it's over with. Because that's where our people are, into. They are all into all these churches, religious organizations. If our brother can speak in this manner, we're already home. I don't know about you guys. My heart is catching my throat. I can't even breathe. This is what we've been yearning for. This is what we've been crying for. This is what we've been praying for. For people that are leading our people, they are leading the sheep instead of leading them like Judas goats, to lead them to freedom. And people of our priests to come up here to help us. Some of them say, oh, we are talking about God. They are against God. They don't like God. No. How can we not like God when he wakes us up every morning? That what we are saying is that the people that are responsible to lead this flock are not leading them. I live here in Houston, Texas. We have this huge Igbo Catholic church. I have gone to priests time and time and said, can we come and speak to our people about freedom, what we need to do? Every chance they will block you. When our people are there, here is harvest is coming this month. Our people will really raise like $300,000 easy. But the priest that is in charge of that flock will refuse to talk. Instead, he will want to pray for Nigeria in distress.
And he will bring politicians to the church.
He will bring politicians to the church to come and talk about their politics, but yet he will not allow me or even allow somebody else to come to talk to our people about what we need to do in a time like this. When God has gone ahead, send us overseas for us to be in a place for our people in a time like this, my people refuse to listen. Have you so confused with all their degrees and all their professorship and everything? They have not used it for a time like this. So, Father Ben, I thank you. I am more than grateful because this is what we want the people leading the flock or the sheep. This is what we want you guys to do. To lead our people in a way that we will live life with dignity. Can we understand that? People who live life with dignity, they are not looking to catch first class and go to vacation. They just want to be able to sleep in a house with no window and feel safe. They want to sleep in a house with no door and feel safe and continue their suffering the next day. We can't even offer them that much. We are displacing our people, putting them in IDP camp, and our people are okay going over there and giving them food. What happened to the land? Who took over their land? Who took it over? So it's no longer okay for us to be complicit and be, or let's go ahead and pray. Let's stop the fakeness, stop the madness. There is a way out. There is a way out. Our brother is here to elaborate on what we need to do to move forward. We talked about obedience. He said, first, we didn't know. How can you drive a car that you said the engine is not working? How are you going to drive the car? And he's telling you that we are realizing that you can't drive the car. We have to fix the car before we put our people, unless if you're callous. If you're callous, you tell our people to come and join a car that will not move so that the enemy will come there and destroy them. If you have the freedom of the people at heart, you will say, let's go and fix the car first before we begin this journey. Why is that confusing to anyone that has any common sense? Why is that confusing to people that are giving birth to children? Children that you're going to live for who? For the Islamic whoever to come and take over? We need to do better. Go ahead, my sister. Let me pull up.
We need to do better because this job is for us to do. Nobody else will do it for us. Like Father Abu said, he said, freedom is not given. Nobody's going to give you freedom. My brothers that like, sisters that like singing, give us freedom. Give us referendum. No. You put the right process in place. Something has to, the process you put in place is what we end in referendum. The process you put in place, you heard when Father was talking about transitioning. There is no leadership vacuum. All you need to do is to move from point A to point B. There's something that our brother Tony Nadi said here. He said, Caliphate Nigeria. Okay, he was trying to talk about the unitary Nigeria. It's neither a federation nor a republic. How can we be telling ourselves lies? It's one thing for another person to lie on your behalf. The worst is for you to lie against yourself.
And believe the lie, Seth, and stop propagating the lie.
Yes, we said we're going to take calls in this show. And for those that want to call in, the number is 979-488-9034. We have changed our number. I know some people have a different number, the old number, and then in our promo. We'll correct it after the show. So the right number, please, is 979-488-9034. Please feel free to call. Okay, so we could put +1. I'm leaving that one. +1 979 488 9034. Please call in, make a comment. If you have questions for Father Agbo, please call in to ask questions. We are so thrilled that someone from the church, because here we have been calling on them. Yeah, Francis Fana, thank you. He says, good program. Yes, share to our people. Because our people are very religious. We have known that. We're not even arguing it. Muslims, so Christians, so traditionalists, so all of them. Our people love God. It's difficult to find atheists in Nigeria or in Africa. You are born into the belief that there's God. What that God means to you might be different in different places. And we say that is not a problem. That we have diversity in belief, diversity in culture, diversity is not a problem. All we want is that we don't want to be assimilated. We don't want our culture, tradition, religion, everything to be assimilated. You now impose your own on my own. You say no. Self-determination is that my own stands, your own stands. We have mutual respect. We can interact. If I want to join your own, I will join. If you want to visit me, my own, you visit me. And the thing about this project of Nina's is that it would even help to unite our churches. This issue of Anglican, Roman Catholic, Pentecostal, whatever, then we see that if you're talking about freedom, Jesus Christ is one that preached freedom. He died for freedom. Yes. The only reason Romans erroneously called him a criminal and killed him through capital punishment of that time was because he was preaching for change. He said, free the people. As far back as that time, colonization had started. He said, I came to set my people free. Because you can't talk of political freedom without spiritual freedom. All the freedom, they come together. You heard when Reverend was talking about holiness. Who is going to preach holiness where the system is breathing on holiness? The system is set out to make sure that you are not holy. How can you be holy in an unholy system?
Shame.
An unholy system can never help the people to live a holy life. So if you are preaching, you're a pastor, you're a reverend, you're preaching holiness to my people, and you left them in an unholy, wicked system, you are a hypocrite, you are a partner to the people that are killing my people. Thank you so much, Father Agbo. Please call. This is opportunity for you to speak to this priest that knows what is on. He's not deceiving himself. He has been in forefront, pushing for change. Call and ask questions and make comments. The number once again is +1 979 488 9034. You can write it down so that you dial. But if you don't call, we assume that you don't have any comments. Yes, we see some making comments in the platform. We're also reading it out. If you prefer to ask a question in the comments, please go ahead and ask. We will read it out. But if you want to call, that's still okay. Thank you so much, Father Agbo. I don't know if you have still have time, because you know your time is so tight. It was difficult to even get to. In this show, we're going to be having men of God and women of God come to speak to you, because we are out for the mobilization. We are out. We are not even playing, like Brother Father Agbo said. He said, no going back. He said, Ninas is it. No going back. We are driving this submarine until we get to where we're going. Our destination is self-determination for the peoples of Nigeria. The vehicle is here. The roadmap is here. We are driving it to the point we are going. So going forward, next week now, another priest, Catholic priest again. Yes, Catholic priests are on top. They are coming to talk to us again. There's also other priests. If you know there's a reverend or priest Am I still coming out? Okay. That, will not lie to us, because one thing we will not take on this platform is lie. That's why it's called Daughters of Truth. We will not take lie, not even half lie. If you see the lie that is the one that is penny like this, we will not take it. If you decide to come here and tell us lies, I back to again at your lie. We bring you down because we are tired of lies. We want to tell ourselves truth, because this nation or nations that we are pushing for must be built on truth. The colonial masters use lies and propaganda to destroy us. We cannot continue their lies. We cannot continue their fraud. We have a God that loves us so much that he gave us so much resources. It is not a crime that we are blessed. It's not evil that God blessed us. He chose to bless us. From our skin to our brain to everything, we are completely and wholesomely blessed. It's not a crime. And there's no apology for that. So where we're going is going to be built on truth and righteousness. Where if you tell your brother it's morning, when your brother goes out, you actually see his morning. If you tell your brother it's night, when your brother looks through the window, he's going to see that it's night. If you tell your brother this is red, when they look at it, another person will look at it, and everyone will look at it, we will see that it's red. It's not the one that will say, yes, from my own view, I think it's brown. Yeah, from this side, from my perspective, from my perspective, I think it's blue. No. We are going to put it on the table. If it's white, everyone that comes to look at it, we agree that it's white, because it
Judged by God's standard alone.
I can hear you. You're saying
I
something.
said, judged by God's standard alone.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
No, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
We can't hear you. I hope we've not been talking to ourselves all this while.
No. I see you. Can you hear me? No?
No. What? We can't hear.
Please, audience, help us. Can you all hear?
In the background, can you people hear us?
Hello? I'm thinking people are watching. We should be hearing.
Please type in the platform if you can hear us. Type, please. Type if you can hear us.
Yeah, I say we hear you clearly. Sisiko, I don't know why you're not hearing me. We hear you.
I'm trying to check, please.
I think.
Type if you can hear us.
Yes, they can. Can you even see me? Because you're not looking like you're seeing me.
Please?
They say they can. I think it's
Hello,
you.
can you hear us? We can't hear you.
No, I can. I can hear them. I hear them.
You can hear?
Yeah. Email. Let's see.
Okay, you can hear, but we cannot hear you. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, audience, give me a minute. Let me call her. I'm not sure because I can hear her. I don't know why she's not hearing me.
Hello, you can hear?
We can hear you. I don't know what's wrong with you. So log off and log back in.
Okay, let me see.
Because we can hear you. So I don't know why you're not hearing. We can hear and see you. You're acting like you can't even see me. Talk less of hearing me.
Okay. All right.
All right. So she's gonna log in and log back in. We will bring Father. Can you hear me now?
Okay, let me log out and log back in.
All right, we'll have her log back in, and then Father Ben will summarize. It looks like everybody is on board as to what we are discussing today. All we want is justice, equity, and fairness. I don't know why that is too hard to understand. We claim to be religious, and yeah, when we talk about justice, equity, and fairness, people don't want it for everybody else. Okay, she's back on. Okay. All right, can you hear me now?
No, I can't hear you. Just take the calls. If so far you can hear us, but I can't hear you still.
Okay. All right. So let me, I don't know what's going on here. That's very odd. But everybody can hear me, right? Because we are hearing you, Raymond. Thank you, Raymond. I don't know when you send that post. Okay, 12:44. So Raymond is able to hear me. So I don't know what's wrong with Sister April's connection. I may have to call Father Ben and have him um, finish off from my point of. What about now?
I still.
Are you wearing earpiece?
I can hear you now. Sorry.
What in the world? Okay. All right. Just have Father Ben to add more so we can go ahead and end.
Okay. Father Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time listening to you speak. Please, can you do you have final words? We were waiting for our people to call, but some are making comments, but there's no question from them. That's okay. That means they understood everything that you said. That means they're in agreement. As all balankete. So if you discuss something and everybody keep quiet, that means that everything that was said, you are in agreement with it. So thank you for being in agreement with our guest this morning. And please give us final words so that we'll let you go because we know your time is so tight. Thank you so much.
Okay, I want to thank the team, Daughters of Truth, for your commitment onto the truth. Jesus Christ said something very fundamental in John 14, 1-3. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And in that bold statement, we see that without these three integers, in existentialism, we cannot exist authentically without knowing the way. You can imagine somebody going to Nubu and is going through Ubola to the northern side, and you want to go to Enugu. So, the truth is important, so important in life. That's exactly why when Jesus was disturbed, when Jesus disturbed the conscience of the politician of the time, his name is Pilate. He disturbed him with the truth. He disturbed him so vociferously that because he's a politician, he was interested in whether he's a king, so that whether there is a rightful king coming over to take over from there. I said, my kingship is not even of this world. And by the time he said that those who are on my side, on the side of my side, are those who are on the side of truth. The Pilate just said truth. What is truth? And this question has continued to, touch my cognition. Each time I speak to the people of God about Jesus Christ, because the greatest thing you need, even for salvation, both on earth and for what we call heaven, is the truth. Once you miss the truth, you are out of it. And that's why Jesus was so angry with his scribes and the Pharisees. Because the scribes claim to know the truth. They claim to have knowledge, but they didn't really have the knowledge. They were fixed in what we call legalism. Just like what's happening in Nigeria today. The lawyers are the scribes. And you say, there's a case of certificate forgery, and you use all your knowledge to marvel around. You know that this is a false certificate. So you are saying, for you to prove certificate forgery, you have to get the original. And then if you get the original, then you prove that this one is fake. That's stupendous. That is the highest form of defeat. If something is forged, it means original. And the lawyer is saying that you have to get the original. You don't have to prove that there is forgery. Jesus knew all this. That was why he rebuked the scribes of his time. Then the other people are the Pharisees, the people who claim to be holy, washing the outside of the cup, but inside we are very dirty. People who are pretending. And we have so many of them in our churches today. Because you are outside the realm of truth. Integrity, according to David Diabel, is, being what you said you are, and doing what you said you will do. If you say you are a man of God, oh my God, know who God is and be a man of God. You can't say you are a man of God when you are deceiving people. You can't say you are a man of God when you are a criminal. When you are supporting criminals. When you are supporting people who enslave their own people. No, it's a terrible situation. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And looking at life, you just understand, you understand where Jesus was talking. When he's talking about real existential life, what you call happiness today. Does money really make people happy? Does money make people happy? They say Samani, one of the judges that finished seminar, is he happy now with all the money he collects? Is he happy? When you have wealth without health, for example, will you be happy? When you have health without peace, will you be happy?
No.
People don't know what is holistic prosperity. People have a jaundiced existentialism. Where you are your concept of existence, where your concept of truth, where your concept of living, is jaundiced. It's fake. So, honestly, I have never seen a great man like Jesus. Even if you don't accept that he's God, if you take him at his face value as a man, nobody has preached wisdom like him. Nobody has released wisdom like him. This man has spoken, has said everything that we need for life and godliness. That's why people like Mahatma Gandhi, who is not even a Christian, I think he's a Hindu, say that after reading the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5, 6, 7, the level of pacifism that you see in Jesus Christ. He said, if Christians, we're able to practice half of what Jesus Christ has said, that this nation, that the world will be different. So I like the ideology of the group, Brothers of Truth, and I want to thank you for having me today. Sorry if I'm too passionate, but
no,
I honestly don't understand why people are comfortable when the world is going nuts. Edmund Duke said that the only reason for the triumph of evil is that good men sit back, say nothing, and do nothing. I don't understand. I just don't understand why men of God are keeping quiet in Nigeria today. I don't understand. So I feel the mic.
Thank you so much. He said, woe unto those that are at ease in Zion, where evil is going on. People are keeping quiet. Thank you so much for that, Abu. We love the passion, because you can't achieve anything if you don't have passion about it. So we are good. I promise you, we'll bring you back another time. We'll have enough time to work on this because we want our people to see your face, because there's something about somebody's face when the person is talking and the person is making all the faces. The passion is driven home. So we will bring you back. But it was good that at least this one today, let's take this as preamble. So we'll continue to move. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we wish you well in all your spiritual work and all that you're doing for the people. May God bless you, and may Christ be proud of you in everything that you do. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. I'll let you go now.
Thank
Okay,
you.
sir. Bye, sir. All right. Sister
Oh
Maria.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm here
Are we
struggling with
not dancing? Hey, what's that dance that are bringing for us to dance? This is where to dance it. Come and teach me this text because I'm dancing.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Our
goodness.
people are
This
going to be
is,
free.
yes, they will. They will. My the devil has no choice in this matter. It has no choice. And this is what we're asking, asking our men of God to do.
Yeah.
So while we are struggling, the fake book blocked my account. What were him and I'm likely sure name. That's it too. So I want to show you guys what's going on so that we can understand that this work is offline. This is just to reach people not far, but in our homeland it's going to be, groundwork.
Yes.
So that we don't rely on people that want us to be shaking our booties and our private parts online, and then they will promote it. And when we talk about freedom for our people, they will block it. Yeah, they literally, I can't see what is happening on Facebook part. So I don't know if I'm still on. So yeah, kind of. And one more, tell me what we have said in this show that will require any blockage. Nothing.
Nothing.
That all we are asking is for our people to get freedom so that they are not at your border. And on our border, all these foreigners are immigrants, they are here at the border. People want to stay in their homes, in their land, and take care of it and grow things in it without terrorism, without people trying to kill them in their own land, so that they can take care of their children, eat apple or wopa or whatever, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
We cannot thank this father enough. We cannot. This is what I've been crying. That's how I'm like, stop doing certain things with some of the fathers that I know, because you have this information.
Stop giving them money.
Yeah, you start giving them money, their churches will shut down. Because when you have them, if you cannot preach freedom in your church, you guys are wasting your time.
Yep.
Also, you can have harvest, you can have retreat, you can have conferences, you can have whatever in there. If you are not preaching for our people to live life with dignity, then you're wasting our time.
Close shop. Close shop. Because there's nothing else to preach. The rest is lie.
Bunch of lies, my dear. Bunch. And that's what Christ, that's not what he intended for us.
No.
So we thank him so much.
Yeah.
We are looking forward to the another priest coming over next week.
Yeah.
And if you're a priest and you want to change the tone that you be using on your church members and confusing them and telling them to come to prayer meeting on Wednesday and prayer meeting on Friday and prayer meeting on this one, and you want to tell them, nah, there's a way out. There's a way out of this dungeon that we find ourselves in, and the work has been done. That's the good news.
Yep.
The work has been completed. All you have to do is to understand it and key in.
Yes.
Understand it and key in.
Yes.
So we've shared the information, the 10 points agenda that our Father Abo gave last week. Is, if you want to see that information, is on our show last week.
Yes.
We actually broke it down.
That's
and true. He's calling on obedience, to be obedient to yourself, to your God, and stop worshiping another man, because you guys are always looking for somebody to worship, somebody to go and take pictures with, somebody to go and bow to. God wants you to only bow to him.
Exactly.
Bow only to your God, not anybody else. Not anybody else. Not even me talking. Don't bow to me. Bow only to your God, not to any man. So that we are not looking for any God to worship. We are not looking for any idol to worship, because Chianye didn't. Chianye Mwanya, the God of my ancestors, is still in business, serious business.
Yes.
And we feel him every day. He wakes up, his righteousness, his faithfulness endures forever in our lives. So we are not missing words. We are not confused.
No.
I'm too excited.
Please continue to help us to share this video and subscribe those on YouTube, because the more, like we keep explaining, the more you share this video, the more the people will get this information. And the algorithm, you break the algorithm they're using to block it. So you see, the work is going on. So people will get the information, and then we'll all be free. And when you do this, the people that are dying will stop dying, because there's a reason why there's blood flowing everywhere in Nigeria, in Africa. There's a reason. Share this and stop the blood letting. that is going on. Thank you.
All right, sure. We need to close quickly. So our 5-point agenda, we cannot end this show without reminding you guys what we're trying to do. When we talk about transition, or what transition that somebody put their hand in the pocket or copy from somebody else or plagiarize from somebody they don't know how it's going to work, but they will put it on the agenda. That's not what we're talking about. This is a well thought out plan that somebody has put his life's work into this for us to understand what we need to get this freedom and get it abundantly. So for our 5-point agenda, I love what we do. We are going to stay on this course. You know how you take a little child a gift, and that child will be holding you on your pants. The whole year will be begging the child. Oh, Zuzela, she will be crying until you, the one that commits crime, comes to apologize and come down from your high horses, and then the child will let go. Oh, I have heard this thing. This work must be done.
We'll pound
There will
it.
be no Appian way. There will be no forgery. There will be no lies. There will be no deceit. You're not going to say, let me go and drive a car with that engine and take it somewhere when you know the car is not going to move. The right things must be done for this child which want to midwife, for this child to be delivered appropriately. No other way. Deceiving yourself. If you want, go to 1 million conferences and run around and spend your money and cash out your life in savings and use it for whatever. Okay, for this process, Igaricha is like standing in the line at the wrong airport line. You know that all those lines they form. You go and stand in the one that was supposed to be for people that have done the work. When you finish, when you get to the end, they will say, okay,
I know those people don't play. They will say, hey, yeah, I've been standing. He says, sorry, ma'am. That's the right line.
They wouldn't even try to put you where you're supposed to be. You will go back and stand again for another 2 hours, and then you miss your flight.
You make it too much, you bad prison.
Yes, has it disrupt all of the peace? The FAA will come and collect your behind.
I'm telling you, they will take you out of the airport.
So this is what this whole thing is. The right thing must be done. So come on, line. You have 2 hours. Don't try to go to the other side.
No Appian way, no shortcuts. The process was started about 24 years ago, and we are following it. Those that want to caveat and go and do a butchery small so that we make more money and become the new king in town, the pimp and all that. If they chop you, Heriegi, now you sabi. If you want, sell your house like my sister said and go and give them. You're your own.
They are even writing a communique right now saying that 1999 is the problem, as if they have not heard. But it's okay. Join the pipeline. Don't mention Nina's. Keep writing your stuff, because we have all our stuff out there for people to see. We're not hiding it. Yeah, one round or solid work. So we're not, one is not in Sister Quiz pocket.
Nope.
And the other one in Monachi's pocket. Everything is online for you to steal, for you to copy. As long as I didn't get the same direction.
I'm telling you, I would delegitimize Nigeria in the land. How? By killing Omunai and burning them down? That's not the way. Follow the right blueprint. Follow the right blueprint to self-determination. Nina's is the right blueprint for self-determination. I know it didn't start now. Even when Israelites were coming out of Egypt, God gave Moses his rod. That was the rod of Aaron was the right rod. But the other tribes went and brought all their own rods and say, yes, we too have rod. Hey, are you the only one that has rod that God speaks to? We have rod too. We will lead our people. God said, Moses and Aaron, don't worry. Tell them to bring that their rod. Let me choose the one I have chosen. It was only the rod of Aaron that bore fruit, brought leaves, twigs, and everything. Everything was complete. So the rest became Unko Ejiangoka, firewood that use it to roast corn. That's what happens when people enter Appian way, enter the wrong way. They're not begging you. Or
we are watching Bible repeat itself.
I'm telling you, it's amazing.
You will say that when you were reading the Bible, you thought you didn't know it was your brothers and sisters, so that they were referring to people that think they can be making noise and decide to stay in Egypt and be eating cucumber instead of going to their promised land. Mr. Badek. Anyway, join us next week. We are bringing
Yes.
the next Father Soul part 2. Our topic is so on point
Yeah.
that we are looking for a divine blueprint for self-determination, unlocking the divine blueprint for self-determination. Anya Alago, we are home.
Yes.
Because if our priests start talking, it's over.
Over.
419 business is over. People that are making money on the blood of our people, when we are talking about freedom, when we come on air, you will come on air too with your BS. As long as
Copycat.
we're leading our people to the right direction, we need freedom. We need freedom, quick, not with your ignorant stipulations. No, with the way that the international standard that has set it up already. So you're not going to reinvent the wheel. We need to
No.
move forward. So we'll see you guys next week. We've gone past our time, 7 minutes.
Yes.
And please help us to share this information. They have blocked me for 1 hour. I guess they will unblock me and I'll start sharing too. So please help us to send this information to your church leaders, the ones that will be going to church tomorrow and telling our people to come to prayer meetings and start fasting. That's not how it works, because God will never do for you what you're supposed to do for yourself. We need good governance through the right process. And no amount of wuru will fix it until we put those good things in place for us to get to the right, to have the right outcome.
Yeah,
So,
and there's a town hall meeting tomorrow, please. Ninas has been having this series of town hall to talk to the people more, and they will ask questions for those that really genuinely want to understand what they need to do. So that town hall is 7 p.m. tomorrow. I've sent the promo out, and more will go out. So if you're on any of our platforms, you will get that link, and then it's through Zoom. So please, tomorrow, Sunday, 7 p.m. Homeland time. You will send them out also and remind you. Come with your questions, and then you'll be it will addressed. So, and we're gonna continue to have this series of town hall meetings for the people, different groups. We've had with Christians, we've had with other leaders of thought, and you saw the resolution which we handled last week and broke everything down. So we'll continue. Mobilization goes on, it continues. Thank you.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.